Hey loves, and welcome back to my channel. It's Ijoma here, and in today's video we're going to learn how to make this beautiful corporate top with a twisted neckline. Now we are going to draft this and then sew it. Trust me, this top is really simple. Don't think it's complicated. Okay, now this is the fabric that we are using. I'm using this black crepe fabric, and if you're making this type of top, you should use a stretchy crepe, a fabric that is somehow stretchy, so that you can feel comfortable while wearing it. Now I'll mark my bust points. My bust point is 10 inches. My half length is 17 inches. And the full length of this top, I want to make it 23 inches. Now, after marking that full length, I'm going to rule my lines. If you're making this type of top, it should not be too long. You don't have to make it to be too long, okay? It should be like 6 inches below your half length. Now, I will rule my lines. This is my bust point, half length, and full length. Now, my shoulder is 16. I'll go ahead and mark 8 inches. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Then 2 inches above my bust point is my chest line. Now, this line I drew now is my chest line. I'll connect from my shoulder to my chest line, and then I will mark my armhole, okay? Now, after marking that, I'll label these lines so that I will not be confused. This is my chest line, also known as armhole line, my bust point, my half length, and then the full length. I did not add any allowance for now. If you want, you can use lining to turn this, but if you want, you can just leave it. Now my nipple to nipple is 8 inches, and I divided it into 2, that is 4, and that is my dart line. So I am marking my normal dart line. We are using normal dart for this top. So from your bust point, you come down by 1 inch before you connect your dart. I used half inch on each side for my dart. For the neckline, I made it 3.5. You can make yours 3 inches wide, but I made mine 3.5. Then you will come down by 6 or 6.5. Then you mark a V neckline, just a little V, okay, and then connect it to the 3 inches or 3.5 you marked at the neck width. Now remember to add your shoulder slope. My shoulder slope is 1 inch. I added just 1 inch for my shoulder slope. Now after marking that, I'll go ahead and take my bust measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch for seam allowance, my waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch for that and 1 inch for seam allowance. Then I'll go ahead and connect. Then after connecting these lines, you will also come up by 2 inches from the full length, and you curve the side. You will curve the side so that it will have a fine shape when you are wearing it. So now I am done curving the side. For the neckline, I want to give it a little Queen Anne shape, like a little sweetheart shape. So you can see how I curved my neckline. It came down a little. For this neckline, it depends on how deep you want to make it, and I want to use this paper for my back. So I marked a 1.5 inch deep round neck for the back. I will use this paper to cut out my back, okay? There's no point drafting the back, because what difference between the front and the back is just a little manipulation. Now after cutting this out, I'll place it on a new paper. This is the paper that we use for my back. They are the same. The only difference here is the zipper allowance. Then I will do a little zipper manipulation at the center back to avoid zipper bulge. Now I'll go ahead and cut off my shoulder slope and my neckline for the back. The neckline for the back is 1.5 inch deep. So this is my zipper allowance. I'll label the zipper allowance, and after removing that paper, I will also connect my zipper allowance line. Now, in order to get rid of the fold at the center back, of the fold, if you don't want to add side darts to your own, if you don't want the front to have side darts, you will have to do this manipulation that I'm doing right now. So I have gotten my half line. This is my half length line, and I will take out half from the top, half from the down, or you can make it 1 inch, half from the top, half from the down, or you can make it 1 inch, and then you will cut it off. And you can see how I slanted it to the sideline, and then I will close. So closing this will help get rid of your zipper bulge. Now if you are cutting it on fabric, that is how it's going to be. You can close with your masking tape, but I couldn't find my masking tape, so I'll leave it that way. When cutting, I'll know how to place it. Now I'll go ahead and cut out my front neckline. After cutting out this front neckline, I will place it on my fabric and cut. Now for the twisted part, you can see this place that the sweetheart part of this neckline stopped at. that is where I will cut from. So I'll just go ahead and come down by 6 inches from my neckline, from my shoulder, 6 inches from my shoulder, and I will connect. You can see I am cutting out that part for the twist. So this is the part that I will twist. Let me just write twist so that I will remember. Okay, I'll go ahead and cut out the other one on a fabric, and I'll also indicate where my darts will be at. Okay, because you add normal darts to this dress has a normal dart. Now I'll go ahead and place my paper on it, and before I cut, I'll also cut off my darts, like the dart I'll cut it off from the paper, so that when I'm sewing it will be very easy for me to sew. Okay, like it will be very easy for me to indicate. Now I'll go ahead and indicate where my slit will be at. So my slit is just half an inch from the center, so that if I open it up it will be one. So half an inch and 1 inch below my half length. You can make it 1.5 inch below your half length. That is where the slit will stop at. So I have cut out my slit, and it's like a triangular slit, so you can see the shape it has right there, and then my darts. Now in order to indicate where my darts will be at, I will cut off my darts from my paper, then I will use it to trace out the darts on the main fabric. That is what I will do at the back also. And when cutting the back, I will close the zipper bulge intake that I took there, so that it will be easy for me. Now we are done cutting out the back. The next thing is to cut out the twist, and this twist must be two. Okay, then you add extra one at the top of the twist, extra one at the down part. You add like extra 2 inches to the the total length of this twist, so that when you twist it, it will not be shorter than what you cut off, right? So I added 1 inch at the top of the paper, 1 inch at the down part of that twist, so that when I twist it, it will not be shorter than what I need. And remember, it is two pieces there, one for the main fabric, one as the lining. I hope we understand. I am trying to twist it to make sure that it is maintaining the same length with what I have on my paper. Okay, Now I will cut out the second one, and remember that this fabric is on fold, so that is it for our twist. I'll go ahead and close the sides of that piece for the twisting. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to cut out a facing for the slit area. If you want to use bias for your slit, fine, but this is a corporate wear. I'll advise you to use facing. If you have enough fabric, you can use lining for this. Using a lining for this is the best. You use the lining to turn your neckline and also turn the slit area, but I don't have excess fabric. Okay, so for the back, for this is for the front, I'm cutting out a facing for the front, and you can see this facing crossed the V neckline and the other parts that I cut off, that part that I cut off for the twist. After fixing the twist, I will use the facing to turn everything. Now this one is for the slit area. I will place it and I will cut out the facing for the slits. I said I want to use facing for my slits, but if you have lining, just use your lining to turn everything, then add your darts also. Okay, now we are done. The next thing that we are going to do right now is to cut out facing for the back. Like I will cut out the facing for the back neckline. So I'm placing the facing for the neckline and for the slit to make sure that they are okay. Now the next thing is to cut out facing for the neckline of the back. Okay, now I'll place this fabric on the I'll place this back piece on the fabric that I have, and I will cut out a facing. If you want to use bias to turn the back part, fine, but I'll advise you to use a facing so that you can turn the shoulder clean, like the shoulder turning will be very clean. Now this is our sleeve. You cut out your normal sleeve, like your normal regular sleeve, according to how long you want your sleeve to be, the normal sleeve. Then this sleeve will have a little A-line shape at the full length, and I will cut out. Now this is my sleeve, and I'm trying to make sure that the lengths of the front and the back are equal. So for your sleeve, you don't need to do much at this point. Just cut out your normal sleeve, and that is okay, right? So now this is my sleeve, and I feel like I have excess. I'm trying to like reduce the measurement so that it will not be too big. The next thing that I'm going to do now is to go and add my darts. Add the darts for the front, the darts for the back, add the facing for the back neckline, and the slits for the front neckline. So now this is the back. This is black. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing clearly, but I have turned my back neckline with the facing. This is the back neckline. I'm done turning it with the facing. This is the other back, and you can see the zipper bulge area. Then I'll go ahead and close the zipper allowance. Like you mark out your new zipper allowance and also go ahead and turn it. So if you're marking your zipper allowance, you should maintain this triangular line that it has at the half length area to avoid zip bulge. Okay, now the next thing is the front. This is the front. I'm done turning the slit area. Now I will get my twist. I have turned the twist also. You know, I cut out 2 pieces for it. I turned the twist. Then I'll go ahead and twist it. I'll twist it according to how I want it. You should twist from the armhole area inwards. Like your twisting should come from the armhole area inwards. Then the other one, you can see it will come from the armhole area and inwards, and you pin it down. If you want, you can use another fabric to hold it down at that point. If you want, you can tack it, like anyhow you want to do it to make sure that it is in place, you can do it. Now I'll fix that area first. Like I'll turn it and attach it at that area that I cut off that paper from that time. You can see then the V neckline is still there. The other V neckline that looks like a Queen Anne neckline is still there. Now, after doing that, I'll get my facing. Then using this facing, I will turn this place that I fixed that twist and also turn my normal neckline and then turn it over, top stitch and iron. Now, this is what I have. This is the center back. I have closed the zipper allowance. Our back is set. Now for the front, our front is set also. I am done turning the slits. I am done turning the neckline and ironing. You can see our twist is out already. And remember to turn that twist. Remember to cut out a lining for that twist. It is really important. Now I'll go ahead and turn the shoulder of this twist. I'll use the facing of the back to cover the shoulder. The shoulder is that twist area. Now we are done. I am done shaping, I am done ironing and everything. So if you want to trim your armhole, you can trim your armhole, but there's nothing to trim here. Maybe you can just increase the armhole depth if you want to increase your armhole depth. Now I am done shaping my sleeve also. So from the shoulder, you can come down by 2 or 3, but 3 is too deep. Just make it 2. Come down by 2 inches. I marked 3, but I later adjusted it to 2 so that the opening at that armhole side will be much. Come down by 2 and mark. On your sleeve, come down by 2 and mark. Then make sure that 2 of them fit from the shoulder to the sleeve. Then from there, you come down again, and that place, you will fold in that place. Like you will fold it in, because the sleeve will not attach to the armhole at that point. So come down by 2 from the shoulder, mark. Then you give a space, you give a little space for the opening there, and then continue from where that twist was joined at the neckline. So from this one, come down by 2. I came down by 3, but 3 is much. Just come down by 2. Repeat the same thing on your main fabric around the shoulder. Okay, then you give a little space. So this is where I will join from the shoulder to these 2, and then I'll give a little space and start from where that twist started from again. So this little space that I marked here is where I will fold in. I'll go ahead and fold them in. You can use hemming gum to hold it so that it will be clean. Then the rest of the sleeve will be attached to the armhole. My sleeve is big, so I shaped my sleeve so that it will match to my armhole. You make sure that your sleeve and your armhole are the same. So just attach the sleeve and your zipper, and that is the end. So you can see the space that I left along the armhole area. It is open, and I folded in the remaining part of my sleeve there. I weaved it and I used hemming gum to hold it down, and that is the opening that you are seeing around that armhole. So thank you all. I hope this tutorial is helpful. Thank you all so much. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me questions in the comment section, and see you all in my next video. Bye.